Africa!
He is within feet of me, and my heart stops.
Cape Town's a city of colorful people.
It's the land of the wild and the not so wild.
And we'll go to one of Cape Town's black tie breakfasts. This is what I came to see.
There is hope, I believe. The situation here will change. That I believe.
Hello world, I've been waiting for a chance to see your face. Oh, hello world, I am ready for a different kind of place. And I'm flying to somewhere else, 'cause I'm searching for something else. And I'm leaving, I don't know where I'm gonna land. Oh no, yes, I'm leaving, I don't know where I'm gonna land.
South Africa is really far away, hours on a plane. But what makes it a lot better is that there are direct flights from New York to Cape Town. So you can get here and it'd be an easier trip. It's worth it. It's definitely worth it.
Guys, we are in Africa!
Woo! Africa! Hi, everybody. Welcome to Travelers. I'm Patrick Michael.
I'm Robin Kipp.
And I'm Foster Solomon. We've just arrived in Cape Town, South Africa. And one thing we've noticed in the short time we've been here is it's a difficult place to describe. It's an African city, but unlike any others in Africa.
It has a European influence, but it's definitely not European. It's one of the most dynamic, colorful, and ever-changing cities in the world.
It's even changed names. Originally was called the Cape of Storm because of the high winds and strong currents that come in all the way from Antarctica. Early sailors called it the Cape of Good Hope because they felt lucky to have survived the trip around the Cape to enter the calmer waters of nearby False Bay.
Traders traveling the eastern waters called it the Tavern of the Sea, but South Africans simply call it the Cape.
But the story of Cape Town is far from simple. They say the Sand People were the first to settle here in 40,000 BC. Over hundreds of centuries, several people of different races have come to this area, making it one of the most culturally diverse and cosmopolitan regions in the world.
Now, although recent years have been plagued by oppression, racism, and apartheid, Cape Town has always been known as one of the more progressive South African cities. In 1990, when the laws of apartheid were lifted, the country was proclaimed as the new South Africa.
Now, despite the scars of its past, Cape Town is a place of great optimism, and it shines through in the city and in its people.
You see a city, you will just see skyscrapers, you know, but Cape Town is surrounded, the city is surrounded by greenery.
I see Africa as colourful and energetic and bold.
This is not my idea of Africa. You know, from my imagination, Africa is the Serengeti. It's anything with the word Africa in it was not as modern. And all of a sudden, it was like home.
I realized that my world was upside down. That here it is November and it's warm and they're in spring, about to go into summer. I realized everything was kind of turned upside down.
One of the most unique things about Southern Africa is the colourful tapestry through our history, the Bushmen, the Xhosa, the Zulus, the British, the Dutch, and that whole integrated system being thrown into one pot in front of with a beautiful setting like this. It's just one of the most remarkable places on this planet.
You know, when I have guests from abroad, I take them on the mountain. I think a walk on the mountain is one of the most special experiences because you can't get lost. There's the sea there and there's the Table Mountain there.
You been up here before?
No, I don't come here quite often then.
I met Lungile, who is an historian, and we went on a cable car up to the top of Table Mountain to get the best view of Cape Town. And then my last name is Solomon.
Oh, right.
That's our surname, I guess.
Are you related to King Solomon?
Yes, I like to think so. Covering Table Mountain is what is called the tablecloth, and it was very prevalent that day, and that's what they call the clouds that hang over the mountain. Somebody smoking tobacco on the other side of the mountain, and that's what's covering it? It's smoke, it's not clouds?
No, it's
who's smoking?
That's your father.
That's my father's up there. King Solomon's up there smoking.
That's it. I'm joking, my brother.
It's windy up here. See, man. We got up to the top of the mountain and we saw these two small little rodents, and they're called rock dassies. And my mind is thinking someone brought them there and they're gonna put on some show or something. I had no idea. It's just, to me, when I see a bunch of people standing around in a circle and two animals in the middle, I'm thinking they're trained or something. Sit. Stay. Why are they up here? Do they belong to somebody?
No.
They just roam around? They live up here?
Around. Yeah, this is their place.
I had to be told that we're actually in their habitat. This is where they live. Then I'm thinking, okay, then maybe I shouldn't be touching these things because they're not tame, they're wild, and Lord only knows what I'm going to get if they bite me. Now, how do the people of Cape Town feel about Table Mountain? I mean, it's so prominent over the city.
Not just the people of Cape Town, people of the world, the whole world, because South Africa and the whole world, they view this as the tip of South Africa, tip of Africa, in fact, put it that way. And they love it.
And this is where you can see
everything
of South Africa. Wow. You were telling me, what did you say, the natural name of Cape Town, or?
No, the national name, we call it Ikapa. Yes, that's one of the Nguni languages.
Okay.
Ikapa.
Ikapa. And what does that mean?
And of course, in English, they call it Cape.
The clouds would sort of disappear right over this peak summit area that we were standing. So you could watch the clouds just roll right over us, and then you couldn't see anything.
Can you speak to your father and ask him to stop the smoking?
You know, I keep trying to talk to King Solomon, he just won't listen to me. He just keeps blowing the smoke over the mountain. I was asking him about what is the spirit of Cape Town, and he gave me a really interesting answer.
Do you know that they call it the mother city?
No. What is that? Why?
It's because of this friendliness to the people. And the people themselves, they are friendly, quite friendly, yes. And they call it Mother City. Once you're here, you're welcome. And you know a child when it comes to her mother, or he is or her mother. He is.
So everyone in the city is like the child of the city. I see.
Welcome, yes.
And then all of a sudden, music begins, and he comes out in red high heel pumps and a great big head. Hi. Are you the BZ Bailey?
Good to meet you.
I've heard a lot about you.
Good to meet you.
I think I've seen a lot of your work around town somewhere.
Oh, great.
Wow.
Yeah.
This must be your workshop.
This is where it all happens, yeah.
And he's like Mr. Cape Town. I mean, very well known, not only here, but around the world. This guy's done some incredible artwork. I mean, all kinds of different mediums. He's even worked with David Bowie, Mick Jagger, Dave Matthews, some incredible talent just making art. Sometimes it's painting canvases, sometimes it's doing woodwork, carving sculptures, silk screening. Just that true artist kind of guy who just can't stop creating.
Yeah, I've invented this new way of painting my toenails.
You are just artistic. At first I thought he was just much more of a linear artist, you know, painting something on a flat canvas. And then all of a sudden, music begins and he comes out in red high heel pumps, yellow satin pants, and a satin robe, and a great big head. I couldn't even do that without a big head on. Look at that. So listen.
Yeah.
Now that we've had a performance, I thought we could go take a break. You could show me a little of Cape Town.
Great.
Well.
Welcome to the dream car.
I see what you mean.
Yeah. But my special thing.
Now this is yours?
That's mine, yeah.
So what does it mean? I mean, something like that's got to have a meaning.
Yeah, it's called the Tree of Life. But what happened is this whole area, if you want to come further up and have a look, there is something very tragic about this area. So you see, what happened is that there was this amazing area right next to the city here, called District 6, which as recently as the 70s, P.W. Botha. I call it P.W. Botha's monument. You know how politicians like to leave monuments behind? This is his monument. Basically, he forcibly removed all the residents because they were breaking apartheid laws, and all sorts of religions and races were mixing together quite happily, as they had done for hundreds of years in Cape Town, and bulldozed their houses, literally. This flat area here was the floor of someone's house, so this could have been someone's kitchen only 20 years ago. They turned this into a sculpture garden, the whole of District 6. And for the first time, a lot of people who were removed from the community came back after all these years. And this tragic sight of a grandfather holding his granddaughter's hand and pointing at a photograph of his old house and saying, "That's where I used to live." And how do you explain to a 5-year-old what happened? And why is there nothing here now? You know, a 5-year-old can't get that into their head.
And what were you hoping to say with this burning bush?
Well, the burning bush, in this particular instance, I described it as the phoenix has risen from the ashes and has already flown.
That's a big one.
And over there is the City Hall, where Mandela gave his first speech when he came out of jail.
Were you here then?
I was here. We got caught in that street over there, and my wife panicked because there were so many people. And we stood up in the windowsill of the City Hall, and his car, can you believe it, his car got lost on the way to here. The car got lost.
I can imagine.
And they came down this street by chance, and he was in a little white Toyota. And the energy in that street, the whole street was black with people, and the energy in that street and the screaming and the noise was something that was quite incredible. The entire street shook. The entire street vibrated. It just went like that. And what's this?
What's it like? What's the new Cape Town like?
I think it is the land of miracles, you know, as Paul Simon said in his song, the land of miracles and wonder. I mean, the odds were so much against us, and so many people were expecting a civil war and blood to flow in the streets. Quite honestly, I always knew in my heart of hearts it was going to turn out like this, but I didn't think it was going to happen so soon. And so the fact that it's happened in my lifetime, and that my young son of 2 years old can actually grow up and enjoy the fruits of the new South Africa. You know, when I was visiting England in the past, I used to have to lie and pretend that I wasn't from South Africa. I used to be ashamed. Whereas now, if I go abroad, I'm very proud to be South African. I think that's a huge difference.
We'll rise with South Africa's penguins next on Travelers. It was Craig's idea to get up at the crack of dawn so he could see the sunrise. He said that's the most beautiful time to go out and look at the animals, especially the penguins. It was about a 30-minute, 40-minute ride out from Cape Town to see the penguins.
Oh, wow, you ain't kidding.
Oh, neat.
Now that's a lot of penguins.
Craig is really great about knowing what Africa's all about. He really loves his land.
Okay, so you notice that they're going through the annual molt. This is a juvenile, this little chap over here. And the difference between the male and female, the males have a much larger beak and a lot longer beak. Their beak's a lot longer. Yeah. The fledglings eat about 25 kilograms during their feeding. The male and the female share the incubation, and they're monogamous. The threat against them, their natural predators are sharks and Cape fur seals and man. It's an endangered animal. And because of their biggest threat is oil slicks and oil spills. Incredible animals. The depth that they can dive to, they dive to an average depth of about 30 to 40 meters. They have been known to dive to about 100 meters, and that's about 4 minutes underwater.
Penguins in Africa? Not at all what I expected. You think of penguins, you think of ice and snow and, you know, Antarctica or something, not right there in the sandy, sunny beaches of Africa.
And the penguins only occur in the southern hemisphere. I don't know if you know that. There's 6 genera and about 18 different species of penguins, and the 2 occur here in South Africa. the jackass penguin, the rock hopper, which is more of our southern islands.
But these are all jackass penguins.
These all jackass, yeah.
And it was called the jackass penguin because of its laugh. It laughs almost like a donkey.
Not too much closer, Robin. Your nose looks like an anchovy. They're gonna come for it.
We had gone off in search of the wildlife, and we were all dying to see baboons. Our search for baboons took us even farther down the Cape of Good Hope, and everywhere we looked, no baboons.
Voor van Bobber Jane Body.
Van Bobby Jane Verbode.
Okay. Voer van Bobbejaane verboden. Feeding of baboons prohibited. The baboons will actually jump on the car, put their hands in the car, and I mean, people have been sitting having a picnic and they're busy feeding, and the baboon will jump in and grab the food, and if you try and take it away from them, the baboon will actually bite you.
So as our fearless guide, you got something to protect us.
Yeah, we got a little stick in the back here. You're gonna.
This flimsy little thing will take care of a baboon?
Oh, well, you just want to show. You just want to get up and flash it around and make a noise and. We got to find them. They'll be around. We'll either see them this side, or we'll definitely see baboons today.
What? Don't do that.
I'm just checking.
Don't do a ooh, it's a.
No, it's nothing.
Oh, wait. Okay, wait. There's a little tortoise.
Yeah, I'm stunned you can see that.
Oh!
Careful, it'll
He almost got away from me.
It'll urinate on you, Patrick.
That's quite a defense mechanism. Yeah. Tell me the baboon's not going to do that.
Okay, let's go and take a look at the ostrich and the bontebok. If you have a look here, you see feces. These are feces of the bontebok. What the males do, they'll actually sort out their territory.
Oh, don't pick it up.
This is very dry, and that you can actually open it up.
Hey! What are you doing? You just put that in your mouth.
It's a piece of dung.
It's grass. It's anything. Are we going to have a bontebok spitting competition, a doo-doo spitting competition?
How does it smell like?
It doesn't have any smell. I smell the turtle pee on my hand.
They're elusive little primates, aren't they?
They also rest up when it's hot like this. The reason why it's called Cape of Good Hope, because many a sailor came around here because they were on their way to good fortune, either coming around the Cape and going up to the east for exchange of spices and porcelain and so on. And they believed once you're around the Cape of Good Hope, you'd kind of made it in the sense of with the conditions, with the natural weather conditions. The only thing that you had to encounter up the way here was pirates.
The baboons are behind a rock laughing at us right now.
Craig said, I've never been here when I haven't seen a baboon. And I'm thinking, oh no, today's your day.
Okay, baboons on the right.
Where?
Baboons.
Oh my gosh, baboons.
Where?
Look.
We've looked everywhere in the park, and they're about to give up. And you know where we find them? In the parking lot. We pull up, rows and rows of cars, and baboons.
He's scratching.
Hey, dude. Show some modesty.
I can't believe it. I mean,
these are the most southerly primates in the world. Okay, they've totally adapted to sea life. They eat off shells. They eat fish, seafood. But these guys are really, really dangerous. They've got used to human beings, and They get into cars and everything. This is quite a large male, this guy.
Do they have fangs?
They have fangs. Their canines are longer than a lion's.
Oh, there it goes.
And make sure you don't break out the windows.
Oh my gosh, they're going towards those people.
Hey. Hey. Close the door, close it.
I got the stick out.
Wow, that was
He
cool.
was going for your basket.
Are you okay?
Are you okay? Okay, just be careful. Just be very, very careful. Rather not open yet because these guys are very clever.
And it jumps off this car, runs to the trunk of this other guy's car, and tries to grab the picnic basket. The guy was dumbfounded, totally stunned, looked at the baboon. Can you imagine being face to face with a baboon? All that energy, all that power. There he is. Oh, look! Look at him!
Give it to him. Give it to him.
And this guy behind me is walking behind me, and he's carrying a bag of food. Suddenly the baboon jumps out of the woods and runs across the street, and he is within feet of me, and my heart stops. It's like those kind of moments. You're so close to nature, it's scary.
We thought the day was over, but Craig had another surprise for us.
Hello. Oh, I think he heard me.
We thought the day was over, but Craig had another surprise for us. There's a whole nother animal out there we got to get a look at.
Wow.
Can we just walk over?
Howdy.
Hello.
The heck?
Yeah, you see, this is the biggest bird on Earth.
Hey, he's getting your thing there too. Why is he doing?
They're gonna go for anything. Everything was it's glittering that they're gonna take, but they are normally vegetarians. But they go for everything.
Are you their owner?
Yes, I'm the owner here of the farm. I farm with them since 10 years now. And it's funny, every day it's something new you're gonna learn about them. They are actually the oldest bird on Earth. They reach back to the dinosaurs. They are 20 to 30 million years on Earth.
And they like the taste of Patrick.
They never could fly. They always were walkers and runners. It's the fastest two-legged animal on Earth. It runs about 50 miles per hour. When we found the diamonds in South Africa in 1860, they were almost extinguished because there were found diamonds in the stomach of the ostrich. And the humans killed quite a bit of ostriches to look
He got him by his belt.
to look for diamonds in the stomach of the bird.
So they love shiny things.
They love shiny things, yeah. We farm them for their skin and for the meat. For the feathers is neglectable, but it was the reason they started ostrich farming were the feathers. When it was in fashion for the ladies, the hats and the feather boas, now it's only for the dancing girls in Las Vegas.
I noticed the feet.
Yeah, this is the most dangerous part of the bird. The bird itself is not dangerous, the head is not dangerous, nothing, but the foot and the claw. And it can make, with that claw, it can make lethal injuries. They kick in 1 meter height about, and they can rip open your belly with that claw. So they have no natural enemies. All animals are scared by that bird, because when that bird attacks them, they are done.
Do you have any babies around? Any smaller ones?
I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you now the egg. How a chicken is hatching, and then I show you the small birds. But I'm going to show you now one who is coming out of the egg.
Oh!
You see here? That's what they do. They open up the egg with a mouse and the small little claw. Then they make a hole, and that takes, you see the thickness of the eggshell, that takes about 8 to 10 hours. I'm gonna help this a little bit.
Is it okay? I mean...
Yeah, that is okay. You know, that is fine. You see that eggshell?
And it's time, it's okay?
Yeah, it wants out.
He's probably thankful.
Oh, look at him. What? Look at his neck.
Yeah, long neck already.
Cool. So this
Is his head
business,
okay?
as you were saying.
Yeah,
Is his head okay?
yeah, it is.
Hi.
Oh my gosh.
And then you just shake a little bit, and it falls out.
Is he going to imprint on you? Is he thinking now you're mom?
I'm his mom? I don't think so.
We got to see the day-old ostriches, and some of them were just learning how to walk. Just learning how to balance their big bodies on top of these two little legs and walking around.
So can I invite you for some ostrich lunch now? To the tea garden, and we're gonna have some ostrich meat, and you're gonna taste how it tastes.
Okay.
Okay.
We're gonna go
Let's
full
go.
circle today.
Yeah, no kidding. Birth to the plate.
Okay, please help yourself. This is nice, all nice ostrich meat. This is smoked ostrich fillet.
This?
Ostrich salami. The fat, of course, is not from the ostrich. That is added from pork or sheep. And this is ostrich steak.
Looks great.
Okay.
Well, Ernst, thank you so much for taking us around.
It was only a pleasure. I enjoyed it very much. I enjoyed your company.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We were about to leave, and the next thing you know, this ostrich wanders up, turns right around, and just goes, and boom, an egg. Laid an egg right there in front of us, almost like it was for us. Like, hey guys, before you leave, I want to show you something. It lifted its tail, squatted down, and boom, laid an egg. Right there at our feet.
You think cheetahs are ferocious?
We'll learn more next on Travelers.
South Africa accounts for less than 1% of the Earth's land, yet the country's wildlife is incredibly rich. 5% of all mammals make their home here in South Africa, and 8% of all bird species live here as well. Robin and Patrick met one Cape Town woman who's trying to save some of these animals from the brink of extinction.
Hi.
I'm just looking at your cats out here.
Yes, come and have a look. We're running a cheetah outreach program here for the Cheetah Conservation Fund, because the cheetah's 15 years from extinction in the wild. And what is so sad, you know, it's the oldest cat in the world. It's 3.5 million years old. It's got the longest history of association with man other than the dog. And it's now been reduced to the status of a pest on the farmlands in Africa.
A pest?
A pest. They're regarded as vermin. It's been very heavily persecuted on the farmlands.
I don't believe what I'm seeing right through there.
Is he going to get much bigger than that after 18 months?
He'll get a little bit bigger. I'll show you his half-brother in a moment, who's 7 years old.
Is he friendly?
He's very friendly.
I noticed the sign, though, says enter at your own risk. But then he says, come on, let's go inside. And my first thought, of course, is wait. You want me to go in there with them? Yeah, I mean, come on, look. See, this is flesh. They eat flesh, you know?
All of our cats have been born in captivity. There's quite a big captive bred population. So he's been brought up at home.
How do you figure that in 15 years?
Well, we're just looking at the rate of loss. It's been 100,000, 25,000, 10,000. So if you carry that graph on to its logical conclusion, unless you can do something to make a change, you're going to end up with nothing left.
Now, you mentioned that the farmers are considering them a pest, and yet they don't want any confrontation. Why would they be a pest?
He's a daylight hunter. He's always seen. So if a farmer loses a stock animal, doesn't matter what happens during the night, he hasn't seen the leopard, he hasn't seen anything else that comes out at night, the jackal, he sees him. And also because he walks over such a big area, he'll have about 10 to 12 farms, 1,500 square kilometers will be his home range. So, you know, you think you've got cheetahs, and she thinks she's got cheetahs, and I think we've got cheetahs. Meantime, half the time it's the same cheetah, just going from one farm to the other to the other.
How are they different from the leopard or the other cats that are running around?
The first thing that really is very important is the build. If you look at the build, you can see how slim he is. And you can see he's not built to fight. Look how thin those legs are. And another very important thing, the claws are always out. They're not retractable. He uses those as a running cleat. Would you like to see him run?
They have this piece of cloth that's attached to this metal wire that will go round in one big circle.
What's it?
They let this rag loose and then it ran.
Oh, yeah. Look at it.
Wow! Wow!
Cheetahs are just incredibly beautiful animals, very sleek. And when you see something like that in motion, then it hits you how sad it would be for this animal not to be around anymore. Now, normally out in the wild, will he eat anything he can get his hands on?
He will eat what he catches. He will not take anything else.
Which would be
that's already
springbok,
dead.
impala.
It's something very small because they're usually very lightweight. It would be something like springbok, impala, or it would be even a little bush pig baby.
And he also raises cubs. And Patrick and I were able to go see them. Where are they?
There they are. There they are.
Oh, they're so cute.
Look at you. What you doing? You can take Listen. Once we off the plane.
Yeah, they just want to go.
So how long do you hold on to him till?
Minimum of 3 months, hopefully longer. At 3 months, they're good and strong. There is a 30% survival rate in captivity, about a 10% survival rate in the wild. So we're quite lucky to have held on to all of these.
Just like kids, they run, they burn up all their energy, and then they collapse in a heap.
This is what it's all about, trying to keep as many of them as possible breeding in captivity, because you're finding that the captive population is diminishing and being replaced from the wild. So the more you can breed and the more you can send out to other facilities, the more you take the pressure off that wild population and prevent that trapping. And hopefully we'll get to a stage one day when there is enough secure habitat that we'll be able to start re-releasing. I mean, that's the dream, isn't it?
So these are the hope.
These are part of the future.
These kids out there, they've got dreams. The one thing that they need someone who's going to tell them that you can do it. Nobody can do it for you, but you can do it.
There's a great disparity here in some areas. There's places of great opulence, great wealth. And sadly enough, there are places of great poverty, all within the same area, just a few miles down the road.
Craig, since we've been driving around here, we've seen a couple of, I guess they'd be shanty towns. What exactly are those?
Well, these are townships where where underprivileged people stay, or people who've never had the opportunity to buy their own house, or they've been evacuated out of areas which during our apartheid years they weren't allowed to stay in.
What percentage of Cape Town would you say lives in all of these squatter camps around the area?
It's It's very difficult to give an actual percentage, but I think it's a large part of our community that is actually living in these underprivileged conditions, and that's what's so sad. And I said, you know, how are we gonna solve this problem? You know, and the only way is to expose people to it and to get people to understand.
I had a very difficult time with this segment of this show, more difficult than anything I think I've ever done.
Hello.
I'm Foster.
Hey, I'm Eric.
Eric?
Yes.
All right, how you doing?
Oh, that's cool. Hey, it's no problem.
It's no problem?
Yes.
What's no problem?
Oh, the little problem because, you know, all the time, and the person have a problem all the time, but I can say I'm very happy to see you.
I'm happy to see you. I'm happy to be here. Well, can you just show me around?
Yes, there's no problem with that. We prepared to do that.
Okay. I was nervous to begin with, and then the fact that I could barely understand what he was saying. And I was so scared to push because I seemed that he was scared also when I first met him. It took so long for him to talk to me in the eye, to look me in the eye.
To show you, and this place here, there is no problem about that.
Now, what is the name of this area that we're in? What's the name?
It's the Imizamaye too.
And what does that mean?
It means the people who are trying to get a space for everybody.
Trying to get a space for everybody?
Yeah, okay. I want to show you. I can talk about this house. This house was burning, but
it was burning?
It's burning everybody. Some people is dying here in this area and in the house now.
This is not something that I've seen a lot of. I haven't seen a lot of poverty. Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of suffering.
This is community center.
Let's just go. We can go right in.
Okay.
And it's a place for kids to play, that's for sure. For many years, education was withheld from black people in South Africa under apartheid. But in Mandela Park, they have a new library, and that's where I met Melba.
So you want to see the library?
Community. Yes, please. I'd love to see the library.
Because what I realize is 70% of the people living in this community are totally illiterate, and maybe 10% literate and 20% partially literate. So it is hard for them to come to the library for books because they cannot read, and maybe probably to them this is the first library that they ever seen in their lives.
But do you think that's going to change as these kids grow up into adults and they remember the appreciation that they've gotten, and hopefully that will be passed on to their children?
Well, definitely that will change because these kids out there, they've got dreams. Okay, number one, they don't want to work like their mothers. It's one thing that even I have in me. I said, I don't want to be like other people. I want to better my life because it wasn't easy even for me because my parents were not rich. It was even difficult for me to get to university. But I said, I'm going there. I'm going to better my life. If only they could have that. Only the one thing that they need someone who's going to tell them that you can do it. Nobody can do it for you, but you can do it. There is hope, I believe. The situation here will change. That I believe.
I knew that kids are kids, and they're not gonna, they know that they're happy because they've got their friends, they've got the toys that they made themselves. And that's a main reason why I kept putting my incredible happy face forward. This is your house?
Yes.
Okay. Can we go in?
We can go in.
Okay. Whoa. What are these pictures here? What team is this? What is this?
This is a Home Tunisia football club.
Together, him and his wife and a couple of other women of the camp take care of 15 of the children of men and women who go out and work during the day and can't find anyone to take care of their children. There was a big part of me that just wanted to cry from the second I showed up. But I would feel that that is me passing some sort of value judgment on where they are. Well, who am I to show up and start crying when they're happily having their barbecue and cooking their food and happy to have this big celebration for these guests that have come to their area to listen to the troubles that they have and to actually have an ear for it. How have things changed over the past 10 years?
There is nothing changed. Only the changes. Only the people is working for the government. Nothing changed for us. People is unemployed. So many people is unemployed. They didn't get a job.
I'm happy that I went. I'm happy that I saw what I saw. I'm happy that I talked to the people that I talked to. I still cannot deny that I want to just wave my hand and it's all perfect, not just these little piecemeal things that we can do.